You've probably seen it all over your social media feeds, right? Athletes, celebrities, maybe even your neighbor, plunging into tubs of ice water. It looks intense, but is there any real science behind this, or is it just the latest wellness craze? Well, today we're gonna break down exactly what happens to your body and your brain when you take that icy plunge, and what it might actually mean for our mental health. So first, let's just get some perspective. This number right here, 970 million. That's how many people, according to the World Health Organization, are navigating mental health challenges across the globe. That's a staggering number. It's almost 1 out of every 6 of us. It's a huge deal, and it's why the search for effective tools is more urgent than ever.
And because of this, so many people are starting to look for solutions beyond the pharmacy. They're exploring more holistic, alternative ways to improve their well-being. The big idea is to find things that are accessible and really empower people to take an active role in their own mental fitness.
Which leads us to a pretty wild question. It sounds completely counterintuitive, right? I mean, who would think the answer could be found in something so uncomfortable? But believe it or not, a growing pile of research suggests this intentional, shocking cold could be an incredibly powerful tool. So how on earth can something that feels so awful actually be good for us? So let's get into it. What exactly is this trend? We're gonna peel back the layers on this viral phenomenon. We're gonna get right to the science of how a deliberately stressful experience can somehow flip into something incredibly beneficial. All right, so here's the technical term, cold water immersion, or CWI. And we're not just talking about turning your shower to cold for a few seconds. We're talking about purposely submerging your body in water that is 59 degrees Fahrenheit, that's 15 Celsius, or even colder. The entire point is to shock your system and kick off a whole cascade of internal responses. And that brings us to the main event, the cold shock response. What is actually happening in those first few seconds after you get in? Because it's not just a feeling of, whoa, that's cold. It's a powerful, ancient, biological chain reaction. Let's break that down. At the heart of this is something called the mammalian dive reflex. And yes, you have it. It's a survival circuit that's hardwired into all mammals, from seals and dolphins right down to us. The second cold water hits your face, your brain basically goes, oh, we're diving underwater, and it instantly starts a protocol to conserve oxygen, even if you're just in an ice bath in your backyard. So here's how it works, step by step. 1. Cold water hits your face, especially around your temples where you have a ton of receptors. 2. This instantly stimulates something called the vagus nerve. It's a massive nerve that acts like a superhighway between your brain and your major organs. 3. Stimulating that nerve activates your parasympathetic nervous system. And 4. The result is a huge, almost immediate drop in your heart rate. And I mean, this isn't a tiny little dip. We're talking about a significant change. Research into this reflex, some of which actually helped develop therapy techniques, has shown it can slam the brakes on your heart rate by 20, even 40 beats per minute. That's a massive physiological shift. It is literally your body hitting an emergency brake. The easiest way to think about your nervous system is to imagine it has a gas pedal and a brake pedal. The gas is your fight or flight response. That's your sympathetic system. The brake is your rest and digest mode, your parasympathetic system. When you're stressed or anxious, your foot is floored on that gas pedal. Well, the dive reflex doesn't just tap the brakes, it stomps on them, yanking you out of that high alert state. Okay, so hitting the body's physiological brake pedal is huge, but that's only half the story. That intense physical shock also triggers this incredible chemical reaction in your brain. And this is where that feeling of clarity and well-being really starts to kick in. In response to that jolt of cold, your brain releases this powerful cocktail of neurochemicals. We're talking the big ones, norepinephrine, endorphins, and dopamine. These 3 are major players in how you feel, how you think, and how motivated you are. So check out how these all work together. Norepinephrine sharpens you up, giving you this incredible sense of alertness and focus. Then the endorphins come in. They're your body's natural painkillers and mood boosters, creating a kind of natural high. And finally, dopamine, the reward chemical, spikes, making you feel accomplished and motivated. It's this amazing rush, all triggered by the cold. So we've got this physical braking system and this incredible chemical reward. But what does that actually mean for everyday life? How does all this science translate into real, tangible benefits for our mental health? And this isn't just theory. Listen to this. It's a direct quote from a study done in Malaysia. And it's so powerful because they didn't just look at data, they listened to people's actual experiences. And what they heard over and over again was that people felt more in control and way more capable of handling whatever life threw at them. And the benefits people reported in that study were all across the board. It wasn't just one thing. They talked about feeling less depressed, being less stressed out, sleeping better, and having that crucial sense of emotional control that we just heard about. It's a pretty compelling list.
So here's the key takeaway, the real magic of it all. Voluntarily putting yourself through the intense but very brief stress of a cold plunge is like taking your nervous system to the gym. You are literally training your mind and body to handle stress in a safe, controlled way. And over time, that builds up your mental resilience. So when the uncontrollable stresses of life show up, you're just better equipped to deal with them. Now, as trendy as this all feels, the idea of using cold for your health is, well, it's about as old as it gets. So let's take a quick look back to see how deep these roots go. But then we're going to cover these super important, non-negotiable rules for doing this safely today.
I mean, look at this timeline. It's wild. We're seeing mentions of cold therapy way back in ancient Egyptian texts. Hippocrates, the father of medicine, was using it in ancient Greece. Traditional Chinese medicine has used cold for centuries to balance the body's energy. What's so cool is that now, in the 2020s, modern science is finally giving us the how and the why behind this ancient wisdom.
Okay, and this part is absolutely critical. I can't stress this enough. This practice is powerful, and that means you have to respect it. First, talk to your doctor, especially if you have any kind of heart condition. Second, start slow. Don't be a hero. Start with warmer water, shorter times. Third, never, ever, ever do it alone. And last, when you get out, warm up slowly and gently. No jumping into a scalding hot shower.
And really, that brings us to the most important point about safety. The whole point of this practice isn't to see how much you can endure. It's not about pushing your body to some dangerous edge. The goal is controlled adaptation. It's about building resilience by gently nudging your boundaries, not by shattering them. So, I'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. In a world that sells us comfort at every turn, could it be that the real key to building genuine inner strength lies in choosing on our own terms to face a little bit of discomfort? It's a powerful idea. Thanks so much for diving into this with us.